What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here. Breaking news, we got some SRB miner conflict going on with Dynex. So it sounds like it may be getting banned soon, but not until new miners do release. I know for a lot of you guys for AMD, you're like, uh-oh, what's going on here? You know, now we're not going to have a miner. It sounds like there are a couple more AMD miners going to be released very soon, and then some big miners like LOL and maybe BZ or something. I can't remember exactly. We'll go look at some of the stuff here, but they're supposed to be releasing miners as well. So we'll see what happens. More are coming in the future, and SRB miner is not going to be banned until other miners are available. So you can continue to use SRB miner if you want, and let's just kind of see what's going on here. All right, so let's kind of see what's going on. I am still using SRB miner until new miners emerge, but we'll just see, what's kind of going on here. So important SRB miner update. After thorough analysis of the SRB miner software, we deem necessary to report the following findings. 1. Machine learning, listening, QO, job calculations are computed accurately. Functionality of the Dynex SDK has never been compromised. Number 2. It was detected that SAT jobs, which are run by different kernel in SRB, are only partially being calculated. To be specific, there has been a limit variable introduced, which limits the number of chips being calculated to 40% of the number of chips being reported in terminal. It was identified that this ratio was constantly lowered over previous releases to increase hash rate. SRB managed to bypass our internal test benches with the separation of two different computing kernels, one for ML and one for SAT. There's another lesson learned, and we can report that things like this cannot happen in Dynex Solve 2.3.5 mallobless mining. So it sounds like when they do implement the fix, when they do remove that mallob, then all these things that they're currently finding is going to be fixed anyway. So really, they had an issue with their code, and SRB miner find ways to, I guess, play around with it a little bit. But we'll see what happens once a new update emerges on Dynex. Newly introduced validation and reading of voltages of arbitrary chips, as well as rigorous test vectors, which have been developed yesterday, is eliminating such possibilities, is further strengthening the entanglement between proof of work and proof of useful work, and forms the foundation of removing proof of work entirely. So that's kind of interesting right here. Removes proof of work entirely. You're still mining, you're doing the proof of useful work and stuff now moving forward, but before, a long time ago when Dynex first came on, they said they're doing proof of useful work. When it did swap over to proof of useful work, it was doing that and pulling away like almost all the hash rate, leaving the proof of work network kind of unsecure in a way, kind of thinking about it. But now it looks like they're just going to remove that entirely, and it's going to be strictly 100% proof of useful work. So that's actually kind of interesting on a security standpoint and stuff moving forward. Such news are never pleasant, but on the positive side, we did involve and improve our project, got even more hardened against malicious activities. It's also worth noting that we expect the new miners releasing their first version shortly, which all of them will have passed the enhanced test vectors. SRB will be removed from the network through a transitional phase to the upcoming AMD version. So once those miners do release, then we're going to see this update and everything, and then we're probably going to see AMD, or I guess SRB miner, removed, and we'll have new miners to use at that point. But right now you can totally use SRB miner if that's what you're currently using. So looking in their tweet, it says the exact same thing. It's copy and pasted from their announcement. Now going into my Discord, there was a few things where Dynex actually responded, or not Dynex, SRB miner actually responded to these allegations. So let's see what they had to say. So here's some clips from SRB miner being posted out of the Dynex Discord. So Dr. 83 does say, from a memorial side of story, yes, I was the SH word because I wanted to fill my bags, but I did that in a way that Dynex itself had zero damage. ML jobs are calculated properly, SAT jobs are calculated properly, so every job gets a valid solution. Only that I ran less chips actually than what was being showed on the screen. So that's kind of what the Dynex announcement was telling us here. Now here, you can't continue working on the long SAT job because you need to clear the GPU memory and work on the ML job. This is why the big job number 3 will never get to a solution, simply because it needs too much uninterrupted time for work. Maybe it is even 2 months. Which rig will be up for 2 months working without a crash, restart, ML job received? I can answer that. None. So me calling that job a placeholder job is actually correct. It's there so that miners have something to work on all the time. So that they're talking about that solution job there. Job 3, I guess, is that, you know, that solution that gives out like a big 1,000 Dynex or 100,000 Dynex or whatever that finds that job solution. It's saying that it takes like 100% uptime for possibly up to 2 months. And he doesn't really expect miners to be up all the time because, you know, you're usually rebooting, moving coins, doing all sorts of stuff, which kind of makes sense. But at the same time, you know, it kind of sucks because you don't have a chance at getting that big reward. I do know that CPUs were able to mine 100% to get that big, huge solution reward. I don't know if they still can or not. I haven't tried it for a while, but I did have my farm on it only for like 10-15 minutes to see if it would work, and I could mine Dynex with my CPU farm, just trying to hash out to get that big, huge 100,000 Dynex or 1,000, depending what that solution reward is at the time. So that's kind of interesting there. So I still don't know what the correlation is between the solution and CPUs and GPUs. There's so much different things always going on with Dynex, but right now it sounds like currently SRB miner will be banned once new miners emerge. At that point, we're obviously just gonna have to do some updated videos. So that's pretty much it. Moving forward, you can still use SRB miner. A lot of people are saying stop using SRB miner, don't use it anymore, yada yada yada. Personally, I think it's still getting the rewards that you're supposed to be getting based on the hash rate, but you got to do a lot more testing to figure it out. It's going to be gone anyway. I'm just going to continue using it. That's probably bad advice, guys. I apologize, but do whatever you want to do. Right now, it's still getting the most hash. Maybe fake. We got to test that out, but it's going to be gone, and then we'll just have to do some updated videos here and test out the new miners. All right, guys, so that wraps up this urgent announcement. Thank you for checking out this video. What are you mining? Are you currently mining Dynex? Are you on SRB miner? Are you moving to 1.0 miner? Or are you just going to hang out with SRB and wait for new miners to emerge? I know that's the big thing for all the AMD GPUs out there, but don't worry. AMD miners will be coming very soon, and then you don't have to, you know, worry about stopping to mine Dynex if that's what you're currently doing, because you can continue to use SRB until those actually release. So thank you for checking this out. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.